I'm gonna be here forever. But I talked to the air attendants there at the airport, and I happened to switch my plane, in which it didn't cost me a thing. Thank God it didn't cost me a thing to switch my plane to an earlier flight, because some of the people didn't make it, so they put me on an on-call list for some people who missed the flight, so that I could get on the seat, which I left at 2:30, which saved me for 3 hours. But in the meantime, I met some really good people at the airport. Oh my God, I think God put us in certain places for certain reasons, so that you don't feel like a loner and feel alone. I met a lady named Cecilia. She's from Arkansas. I really like her. We exchanged numbers. She was the sweetest thing. She ended up going to a different bariatric surgery place there in Mexico, in Tijuana, in which I didn't realize. I was so shocked because I didn't realize that that was like a surgery hub, you know. I saw so many people coming in that either had bariatric surgery, so many people coming in that had boppy pillows to sit on. They had their body done. Like, San Diego airport was the hub for people who had different kind of surgeries, in which it was a lot of people that was going back to my area where I live in. So not exactly the particular city, but they had to use the airport to get to where they was going, my airport, to get to where they was going. So with that being said, we sat and talked for a long while, in which it was a guy there. He would not stop talking while me and Cecilia was talking. He was talking about all these different things that didn't have nothing to do with what we was talking about. I was like, God, I wish he would just hush. But I wasn't trying to be mean. He just started talking about random things. But anyways, like I said, it was a lot of people, and we talked about our experiences. We talked about what the doctor said or recommend for each other, and saw what the differences was. We talked about different prices, and also we talked about plastics after surgery. What do they think about getting after they slim down, where they get tummy tucks. We talked about all that, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. And let's talk about accommodations now. Did I have or require accommodations? Yes, because the airport was really long, and there was a lot of walking, especially since I had recently had the surgery. I just wasn't feeling it, so I did ask for wheelchair accommodations, and that worked out perfectly. They didn't give me a hassle, in which I also didn't feel like a loner too, because I wasn't the only one. It was like 6, 7, 8 others, and those accommodations allow us to board the aircraft quicker and faster, or the first people in line to actually board the flight, in which that was so amazing to be able to do that. Oh, but one thing I did mention is I did mention that the nurses were really attentive, but I did have to watch for one thing. I don't know if the nurse really I don't think she intended on, I mean, she did, but she didn't mean any harm. I guess this is what she normally do. But she had like the IV fluids, and with a line you have to run the water through the line, or run the saline or whatever fluids you're running. You have to irrigate the line so that you won't have any bubbles, so that we don't have any kind of trouble with the IV. And she put it in the garbage can. I thought that was so I'm gonna get an infection. You put that in the garbage can. So she ended up changing her line, getting a whole new line after I mentioned that, and it wasn't a problem. But like I say, I guess normally you would grab it, put the saline in, and let the water just run into the bucket instead of putting the whole line, especially the line that hooks up to the IV, which could give you an infection, especially when it's in a dirty bin. It shouldn't have been there. But the drain removal. So I'm gonna insert the clip of getting the drain removed. So if you have a weak stomach, I suggest you stop right now. Don't go no further. I must warn you. This ain't for the weak. Okay, with that being said, I'm going to insert the video of the drain, and I'm going to talk about it, how it felt coming out. So after you see the video of the drain being removed, I'll talk about it.
People feel like uncomfortable. Yes.
It's not too much.
As a late kid, even I have to take off that browser. Can I do it? Excuse me.
If I'm already chose. How can I lose if I'm already chose? The party not lit, then I'd rather not go. If she feeling
Like come and kick it with a twister. Black caddy, Mac daddy with a whole backseat. With a 97 pimp flow. Got a feeling when you smoke it when I flip it to a track speed. Talking about a beautiful figure, astonishing and Greek mythology. Body be just like the girl in love. What's that movie? Never mind, let me enter your atmosphere as you enter my world and let me touch that booty. I can't believe that your mama that cold. Her daughter got such an astonishing soul. You need a modeling role. Still a player, know you got it when you climbing from the bottom to the top of the pole. Plus you can pop a control. Your fatty so accurate when I'm smacking it is making me sick.
Yeah, it hurts so bad.
When it comes to making it rain, I can get it where.
Are you okay?
You want some media, you need a better man. He cover politics.
Yeah, it doesn't look like.
Every time I'm looking up and I see more ass, I'ma constantly see rain in the forecast.
What is that?
By the way, I'm flicking 5,000 ones or whatever you wanna call it. It's a celebration. You the champion. Here's the fatty confetti. Come on and get drunk with the money hauling.
you can do better. I done been wet, but I can get wetter. Come and make it rain down on me.
There are stitches inside, but you.
Okay, so now that you saw the drain being removed and yeah, the little discussion. First off, the guy, the doctor, his name was Isaac. He was the doctor that was in training. He was in his residency. He was very sweet. He mentioned that they don't get paid for the residency, which is totally different from America, which is sad. He had to do several years as being a doctor resident without getting paid. But anyways, he took out the drain, but he was talking the whole time, in which I guess it calmed me down for one. For two, it made me think about more of what we were talking about versus the conversation versus him removing the drain. So the drain removal, I thought it was gonna hurt. I thought it was gonna burn. It didn't. It just felt like. You know how the needles feel when they're going into your vein? It felt like that being removed out, but out of your belly. That's exactly the feeling. It kind of felt like a snake moving through your belly out. I did ask him, because it was like a hole left in my belly. I asked him whether he gonna use any Dermabond, which is like a medical grade glue, or was he gonna stitch me up? And he told me no, he was just gonna let it close on his own. In which I just kept it really clean and kept it irrigated, things like that. And I had gauze and a band-aid on top. I made sure that I kept that area really clean because I did not want a risk of infection. Another thing that I did do every day or so, I would change my band-aids out, irrigated with the antiseptic spray that they gave, and make sure I cleaned it really well. I think that was vital. In not getting an infection. Also be mindful that the tape that you have there, it can turn your skin a different color, but if you change it often and clean around it, I used alcohol pads and I just cleaned where the adhesive was on my stomach, and it has seemed to work. Episode 3, we're going to talk about the medical pack. We're going to talk about what's in my med pack that I brought back home. What did I use? What I feel like I didn't use. Since we're going to be talking about medicine in episode 3, we're going to just talk about my vitamins, what all vitamins that I am taking now. We're going to talk about the post-op diet, what was required, and all the documentations that a Slimmer Me gave me on the way out. So with that being said, that's the end of episode 2, which was just telling you my border talk and communication and showing you the recovery house, telling you about my recovery house experience. I hope that this video was very informational for people who is planning on going through the surgery. Please look out for episode 4 where we get into some different topics. And that would be it for episode 3. See y'all. Like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Anybody that you think that this will be vital to, please do not hesitate to go ahead and share with them. Like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching Just Brann. I really appreciate your time and looking out.